Yo, Vycery here. Tile Update 4 is not that long away anymore, and I think it's time to talk about everything we know so far, and what things I recommend you do before the update drops. First, the information. We know that a new Artian system is coming, but we talk about that in a little bit. Let's start with what little we know about Gogmasios. The quest will be accessible at Hunter rank 100+, and it is recommended to bring a fire weapon to soften the body, and a dragon weapon for big damage. Basically, we are supposed to use our 2 weapon slots for different elements. I'm curious to see how the fight will turn out. Is it a siege quest similar to Kulftarov or Safijiva? Will we be able to solo Gogmasios? And how will the fight be structured? But I guess we have to wait and see. And before people say that there are 8 hunters in that one screenshot, yes, we see a lot of support hunters. I don't know if it's just for looks, or if that is already an implication of how the fight will be, but I don't expect 8-player hunts. That will be way too chaotic, everyone would need to know what to do, and also gameplay wise, we would need more scaling options. What if you can't get 8 players together? For players that primarily play solo, to force them with 7 other people sounds painful. I don't think this will happen. Next are the armor upgrades. With Title Update 4, armor pieces can go through a process called transcending. That is from the looks of it very similar to the Iceborne armor augments, in which you spend some materials to break the upgrade limit. Where things get interesting is that Rarity 5 and 6 armor pieces also get upgraded slots. That means that some armor pieces like Mizutsune, Ebony Odogaron, Fulgur Anjanath, Blangonga, or even Doshaguma become way more relevant, or even best in slot for some builds. The extent of how good the upgraded slots will be is yet to be seen. Personally, I'm very happy about this. More build diversity is good, and I always wanted the lower tier armor to be relevant. This alone can make way better sets than we already have. This process will also be available at Hunter rank 100+. In addition to that system, we also get some small increases in armor sphere drops. 2 quests to farm armor spheres are already permanent in Tongue-Tied and Wrecking Havoc in Valveria. The amount of smelting points from some monster parts will be increased on top. We also get more spheres from bounties. Right now, the best way to farm armor spheres is the Melding in Azus, the Fulgur Anjanath event quest, or 8-star and 9-star investigations. So if you need some, start farming now. Before we talk about the elephant in the room, there are 2 small things to mention. One is that we will be getting 9-star Rathalos as a roaming monster, which can be made into investigations. 1 more monster to farm for endgame. That's nice. I hope it's not going to be like Arkweld or Mizutsune and give a depressing 1 talisman per slot. I pray it's more than that, and I'm curious to see how hard this version of Rathalos is going to be. Second, we have some weapon adjustments. It is specifically stated that we will be seeing buffs. That's awesome. The weapons that would need some changes the most in my opinion is bow. It doesn't feel good to play right now. Close range coding being the best with power coding and pierce coding on the bench is not what I thought bow would be. Having to restock codings after 10 shots also feels more like busy work and doesn't add any depth to the weapon. I also think that elements should play a way bigger role for bow and not just the element the weapon comes with. I still enjoy the weapon, don't get me wrong. It just doesn't feel good to play for me. If you want to know what I think can be changed for the other weapons, let me know in the comments, and I might make a video about that. Alright, let's talk about the big thing. Artian weapon changes. Before I give my opinion on the matter, let's see what will change. Artian weapons will basically gain the ability to have 1 set bonus skill and 1 group bonus skill assigned at random, as well as better reinforcement bonuses. I have some problems with that. Why are we buffing Artian weapons more when we already barely use monster weapons? For example, Longsword. I only ever use Artians here, because they have the best slots, I can use whatever skill I want, and choose the element how I like it. There's also no blast longsword from any monster at all. Making Artians better means that a few weapons that use monster weapons like Hunting Horn or Gunlance will most likely abandon those and switch to full Artian. I am not a fan of this. Getting better reinforcement bonuses alone will most likely make other weapons irrelevant, depending on how big that increase will be. And we didn't talk about the set or group bonus skills. It is not stated if we only get 1 point or a full set or group bonus, but I think a full-on group bonus skill, like Guts on a weapon alone, would make it way too strong. For now, let's say we get 1 point for each. This will add even more advantages for Artian weapons. But I'm also very worried. What happens if I get a bonus skill I don't want? Am I able to re-roll the skill, or is my weapon ruined? Imagine for a second you gamble for a longsword and you get lucky with 4 attack and 1 sharpness reinforcement bonus, which is the best you can get. Now you try to get your skill and you end up with Doshaguma as a set bonus and Inspiration as a group bonus. Do you have to completely throw that weapon into the bin, or do you have the chance to change that again? This is what worries me. If there's no reroll option, I can already see people modding and cheating their weapons until there's no tomorrow, or people move away from the game entirely. Putting RNG on top of RNG is not a great idea. I hope we get a system like Safi, where we can at least reroll the skill, even if we don't get to choose what we want. Of course, this is all speculation, so take it with a grain of salt. We don't know the full extent, and I'm going out on a limb here. Things can be drastically different, and everything I said could turn out to be wrong. In terms of build variety, it will change everything. Having a set bonus and group bonus on the weapon alone opens so many possibilities. You could get Guts, which is arguably the best group bonus right now, with Azure Bolt 1, Black Eclipse 1, and if you use 2-piece Radar Gamma for Guts, you also gain Thunderous Roar 1. There's even more. With the armor upgrades from earlier, skills like Burst Boost, Second Wind, Bubbly Dance, Powerhouse, or Resonance become way more viable together with 2-piece Legiacus or 2-piece Gormagala with Guts. This is going to get crazy. That's the aspect I like. More options means more builds, which means more playstyles. Really the only thing I'm worried about is if there is a reroll option. I pray to Monster Hunter Jesus that there will be. Lastly, I want to give some recommendations of what I think you should do before the update drops. I already touched on the armor spheres, but just as a recap, I recommend to either farm the event quest Wreaking Havoc in Valveria, which is the Tempered Fulgur Anjanath, or farm 9-star monsters. With the excess monster parts, you can melt even more in Arzus, but it might be better to wait and make use of the increased point value some parts will get with Title Update 4. On to the Artians. Even though in the post it is said that you should craft your Artian weapons, I would say don't, and just stockpile the parts. We don't know how the stronger reinforcement bonuses are applied, and it could be a new item that we have to use. We also don't know if some weapons get changes to a point where, for example, Element will be better, so if you craft a full attack weapon, and then Element turns out to be the way to go, you basically shoot yourself in the knee. If you're in desperate need of a new Artian weapon, then go ahead. But if you already have your setup, keep the parts and stockpile as much as you can. The best monster to farm for Artian parts, from my experience, is 8-star Gormagala. Gore is the only monster that can give you 3 Artian parts per slot. Raidao, Ufduna, Nu Udra, Jindahat, Arkweld, Mizutsune, Seregios, and Legiacus are also good options, so pick which one you like the most. You can also try to farm Nightflower Pollen. Those can be found in the Moonworld Plains in Area 10 and Area 3, as well as the Scarlet Forest in Area 18 and Area 14. The flowers only spawn at full moon, so keep an eye out on the moon phases. Nightflower Pollen can be used to trade with Sekka and Suja for gold relic tickets, which can be used to melt Artian parts. Or you can trade for hard armor spheres directly with Sekka as well. Also, save your bloodstones. They let you melt Artian parts by choice, which becomes way more valuable in Title Update 4. Important here is that the food skill Exploiter can activate on tempered wounds, giving you more bloodstones. I highly recommend eating the Suja meal to activate it. Silver relic tickets are also a good option. You can get those from bounties. You should also keep and farm reinforcement materials like Auricalcite. Don't forget to grab your festival shares from time to time. I mentioned Gormagala being the best, and I know most players find Gore to be one of the most difficult fights, but I have something for you. A little strategy. If you follow my streams, you might have heard of Encore Legore. If not, let me explain. First, you want to get Gormagala in the Ice Shard Cliffs. I find Plenty and Fellow to be the best weather for Gore to spawn. Once you have one on the map you want to do, you want to lure him to the peak on the map in area 16. After it's there, you save the investigation. Now comes the hard part. This strategy is possible with every weapon, but Hunting Horn is by far the strongest and fastest option. The build I use here will be shown at the end. First you start at the floating rock wall camp. I buff up with Surf Improvement and attack up L. Then I switch to my damage weapon and make my way to Gore. I shoot a lure pod on him and start my setup. We use this little area here, so Gore doesn't have many options to run and jump around. This is also why Hunting Horn is so good for this. Gore will stay in the echo bubbles pretty much all the time. Gore will be jumping all the way down before jumping up to our spot. I like to put a pitfall trap to make the start a little bit more consistent. Now it's all about dealing damage. Since Gore has a lot of attacks that take space, but we are in a very small area, it will miss most. If you stand below Gore, you are safe from most attacks. It can happen that Gore wants to leave, indicated by the white circle around your map, so if that happens, just shoot another lure pod. Sometimes it also dashes down or flies up, but no worries, Gore will come back. If it doesn't, use another lure pod. If you want it to stay in place more, feel free to use traps. I will let the hunt play out. After some time, you will see the skull appear, which means it's time to capture. And that's it. Gore Magala in around 4 minutes. Since 8-star and 9-star Gore have very similar HP, means that both take around the same time. This is in my opinion the easiest way to deal with Gore. Big shout out to Shane and Murray for bringing this strategy to my attention and taught me the ropes of it. Shane also made some videos on it, so check them out in the description below. And that's it. That's all I have for you today. What do you think about the changes and additions for Title Update 4? Do you like them or are you not a big fan? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.